Hi, good morning, everybody. This is Sachin Jain. Thanks for attending the meeting. We are going to be displaying our entitlements audit solution. Before we go to that, let me tell you a little bit about BuzzClan. We are an elite Oracle Gold partner. We specialize in various areas using Oracle technologies, including security services, business intelligence, infrastructure services, and Fusion middleware implementations. This is a brief overview of some of our services portfolio. As I said, we have full stack implementation for your infrastructure, specializing in engineering systems implementation, security implementation, business analytics, Fusion middleware implementation, and we are also getting quite a few implementations done on the public side cloud arena, and some of the solutions that we are building also cater to either migrating to the public cloud or getting a better value of your cloud investment in the cloud technology. So getting back to the product or the service offering that we have, it is around helping organizations with IT security compliance audit. Basically, a lot of organizations have either regulatory requirements or they have their standard operating procedures where they want to be able to understand the risks that is presented when users have various access to the different applications within the organization. Compliance audit is a comprehensive review in organization's adherence to these regulatory guidelines. Auditors, either internal auditors or external auditors, come in and review the security policies. They look at user access controls and what risks does that present from a management procedures, and that's part of the compliance audit process. Compliance auditors will generally ask CIOs, CTOs, and IT administrators a series of pointed questions over the course of an audit. And primarily, what our solution helps is the questions which include what users were added, when they were added, who has access to any particular application, is there, if in case of an attrition or in case of a reorganization, has that been reflected into the user's access to their system or not, whether user IDs were revoked, and who has critical access to the systems. Basically, we are trying to answer who has what access to, what level of access to which applications. The problem in trying to gather this information from within an organization are typically clients are faced with the task of mitigating security risks, managing and reviewing user access. Your organizations may have geographically distributed, technically diverse inventory of applications, and the users who are accessing them. The existing processes can be very manual, unwidely inefficient, and limited only to a subset of the applications and servers. And this makes the audit process a very time-consuming process, and usually relies on the application and networking team. And when the audit is going on, the application and the networking team has to put forward a lot of time and effort to answer the auditor's queries. This makes the whole process very time and resource intensive. And the auditor is again dependent on the networking team or the application teams to get the answers. Kind of talking in terms of a business problem, corporate imperative to control security risk by reviewing user access to IT applications within the enterprise or worldwide locations. Various acquisitions and expansion pressures are bringing progressively more applications and servers that needs to be reviewed, along with the users that gets added or removed from the application landscape. Significant time is spent in email communications with application teams. The application teams also has to set aside a lot of time whenever there's an audit process going on. From what we are bringing to the table is a solution which is a scalable, distributed, automated solution that can accommodate your existing applications. It can also be expanded as and when new applications are brought into the mix to be audited. The major benefit of this solution is that the task for getting the entitlements, getting the user access listing, shifts from the application owners to the auditing team. So instead of having to rely on the application or the networking team, the audit team can now automatically gather that information once the system is set up to do that. So the setup is a one-time task, and then from that point onwards, the entitlements or the user access can be pulled either on demand or on a schedule by the auditing team. And this reduces the burden on the application and networking team and makes the whole review process more timely, more accurate, and it also allows the application teams to be free from having to spend time on this on an ongoing basis. So so what we are proposing is an application package that can enable organizations to source entitlements or the user access from various technology platforms and report it on demand using a graphical analytic tool which can be accessed using either your desktop platform or your mobile platform. The control or the shifts from application owners to the auditor. So the auditor is no longer dependent on the busy application owners or the network owners to get this information pulled. They can pull this information as and when it is required once the setup is complete. The solution, again, can be implemented on-premise. So depending upon the mix of the applications that are on-premise versus on cloud, our solution can be implemented either on-prem or on using the Oracle Public Cloud components. So to summarize the whole service, we can kind of say that it's a four-step process. As the auditors come into your organization, they request application access for desired application from the application owner. This is a form-based request. We'll go through this using the demo while we're doing the demo. So the step one is that the auditor sends out a series of requests to various application owners for them to provide access to it. The application owners gets an email and correspondingly they come to a form where they fill the endpoint information using an ADIF form, and then they can also validate that everything is fine at that point. So once that setup is complete, from that point onwards, the step 3 and 4 is totally now the system, the auditor has control over the whole process. The auditor can select a set of applications and the system pulls the entitlement information for those applications. This can be done on demand or this can be done on a scheduled basis. So once that is done, the step 4 is basically analytics, the analytical capability of the system, where the system presents the entitlements information on a set of dashboards, which can be analyzed by the auditor and also can be shared across the organization as an audit report. So at this point, let's switch over to a brief demo for the system. As you can see, these are the various reporting capabilities that the system has. We can look at the list of applications and application instances that the user, the auditor can connect to. We have been able to pull up the risk factor that an application presents. So we have categorized the various roles based on their exposure. And so let's say delete catalog roles. So we can see that for a particular instance, there are 5 users who have access to that role. And I mean, this is by design or could be malicious. But this is something that once we have that information, we can drill down into this and figure out who has access and is that warranted or not. We have a list of applications and application instances that we are able to audit. We also have, so we have role-wise exposure, we have user-wise exposure, so we can check and see various users and see what kind of access that they have to the different applications. And this gives us a quick overview of the vulnerability that a user presents to the system. These are reports where we can see users who have kind of open, logged, or expired accesses to the system. We can look at specific reports in terms of number of users, which applications they have access to, and what is their risk categorization as presented by the different colors over here. And we can also see how this is changing over time. So we can see, so if let's say there was a merger or was a layoff, then we should be able to see the changes corresponding to that over a time period. And again, I mean, these are some representative dashboards, which of course can be expanded as per the requirements of the organization. Coming back to the system demo, so this is the first step of the 4, where as an auditor I come in and say, okay, I need Marcus to give me access to I need Marcus to give me access to the database that he manages. Once this is done, an email is sent to Marcus. Yeah. So once we have done that, Marcus basically receives an email with a link, and the link takes Marcus to an application, to a form where he can put in the information about the form. So once the credentials or the endpoint has been submitted to the database, the auditor now has access to all the instances where they can request the entitlements for. Again, this can be done either per application, for all the environments, for production environments, development, excuse me, for development environments, or this form can be configured for ease of use of the auditors. This also can be, so again, once the entitlements have been requested, either on demand or by schedule, the auditor can get back to the dashboards and look at the corresponding reports. So that was the quick demo and showcasing the 4-step process that we have. Again, we have a set of agents that are available for certain applications, and by the framework that allows for the expansion of this system by allowing us to write new agents for new applications. These agents can either be developed by us in your organization, depending upon your organization's application stack, or even your development team can expand our implementation by using our framework and writing the agents for us to use within the framework. The various Oracle technologies that we use for the applications are as follows. We use Oracle Mobile Cloud Service to implement the mobile version of the application, where the auditors or the application owners can use the application using a mobile platform, which is supported by the Oracle Mobile Application Platform. It allows for simplified user management, offline, online data management, push notifications, so the system can be geared where, as scheduled, entitlements are being pulled from the system. If any anomalies are detected, which again can be configured into the system will send out notifications through the mobile apps or the desktop apps. The Oracle Process Cloud Service lies at the heart of the framework, which allows for a dynamic process-based system, which allows us to connect to various applications, either on an offline or an online mode, and request the entitlements from the different applications. The Oracle Process Cloud allows for rapid process automation and change via starter patterns, collaborative modeling, and zero-code declarative designs. It allows for business-friendly form designs to create responsive dynamic web forms. It has a very powerful rules agent design capability to dynamically determine the approvers and the control process flow. Richer business context for processes via business properties to capture requirements, issues, comments, and full lifecycle management for managing application lifecycle through instance deployment, automating versioning, and promotion of the test environment to production. So these are some of the capabilities of the cloud service, the Process Cloud Service. The reporting and analytics is being done by using BICS, the Business Intelligence in the Cloud, which is an offering of the Oracle Cloud Services. It allows us to take the underlying database and provide actionable insights with best-in-class analytics tool. The BICS has a mobile interface. Any report or any dashboard that is available on the desktop is also available on any mobile device without any extra work, and the users can access that. It's easy to use, fast setup, very graphical oriented, and fast setup, and it's always on. I mean, Oracle, it's on the cloud, so the system can be turned on effectively, and we can start to use it immediately. So, and then of course the system is deployed on Oracle database, which allows us to securely manage the endpoint information storage into the system using the various Oracle security controls on the database. Time for any questions and answers. And if you guys have any further questions, please feel free to reach out to Andy or myself, Sachin, at this information. Thank you.